Hello, my name is Julie Barrent, and this is the short video demonstration component for my EDU 280 class for literacy in early childhood. The assignment that I was given for this class is teaching caregivers supporting infant literacy from birth. And it's asking me to recap the two parts to this assignment that I have already done in a PowerPoint form and a short reflection. For this assignment, it asked me to create a workshop outline that answered the following three questions in family-friendly language. The first question was, what is emergent literacy in infancy? And I define that in my words, based off my reading from our textbooks and what our professor has told us, as emergent literacy in infants is the pre-literacy skills an infant is exposed to that lays the foundation for later success in reading, writing, and speaking or communicating. These skills are important, really vital for an infant to be exposed to because it, as I said, will lay the foundation for success later in life, in both academically and personally, for reading, writing, and communication. Emergent skills in infants of the literary kind can look like wetting an infant's hands and having them make marks on a surface, which would later lead into writing, obviously, learning to articulate their hands and moving. Singing to them and using rhyming words are also wonderful ways to build their vocabulary. The next question was why early literary experiences matter, and building off of what I said previously, that early experiences lead into later success in writing, reading, and communication and speaking. It lays the foundation for these skills. I have here in what I wrote that it also helps infants eventually, as they get older, not obviously as infants, but later as toddlers and then preschoolers, communicate their thoughts and ideas and express their needs. And when children are able to do that, just like as adults, they're able to make stronger social connections and have their needs met and have a more fulfilled sense of self. So on an internal level as well as an academic level, the early literacy skills matter so much to expose toddlers to. They are taking it in. Just because they can't verbalize and speak it doesn't mean they're not learning and their brains aren't processing. It's a lot of unseen work that goes on. The last question was how infants engage with language and books. Infants are very entertaining with books. It's all completely developmentally appropriate to see them chewing, mouthing books, use books that are cloth, hard books, so they're going to try to rip them, throw them. All of this is completely appropriate and how infants start to engage with books as well as looking at them too. And of course, reading to infants is a vital part. In fact, one of the most important parts, besides speaking with them, reading to them is highly important for their developing literacy skills. The next part that I was asked to create was a caregiver handout, and I was asked to make this in family-friendly language as well. It asked for tips, 5 practical literacy strategies. Some of my strategies that I created to share with parents was, of course, reading and reading expressively to infants. Using your whole body and body gestures when you read helps engage an infant, and they do internalize the tone of your voice and what you are expressing to them. giving them opportunities, as I stated before, to make marks on surfaces. I gave the example of using yogurt because this is something that they can put in their mouth, so they're not going to hurt themselves, and they can make marks on like a black piece of paper or a dark surface. These marks lead in later into their development when they're older, into writing, holding a pencil, learning to make marks on paper. So this all leads into what they're going to need to learn later in life as well. I also have narrating just their daily routines and occurrences that happen, pointing out what the infant is doing or what is going on around them. All of this is using daily context and daily routines to use as a form of conversation for the infant that is applicable to them. Another thing I believe I mentioned is serve and return, the idea of holding a conversation with an infant, which can be difficult to understand when an infant may not respond verbally with clear words, but they do respond through eye contact and verbalization. So serve and return would be perhaps noticing that an infant is looking at something, pointing this out, waiting for their response or their eye contact with you, and then that is their response, and it returns to you, and you respond to that. So these were a few of the things I discussed with my tips for the family. I believe we were also asked tips for diverse cultural and linguistic families, and for this I had singing songs in different languages, including the home language, books in dual language, including the home language of the family, and what else did I have? And talking to the infant continuously. No matter the language or the culture of the family, talking to the infant is the highest priority to help develop that literacy skills. And this is what I have for this assignment. Thank you so much.